Welcome back to Morning Coffee. I am Mark Cook. This is the Radio Vision Network, and we are moving right along on this fine Thursday morning because I have the host of the MVP show. You can catch that Saturdays right here on the Radio Vision Network. It's the MVP himself, Neil Villapiano. Good morning, Neil, and welcome to Morning Coffee.
Good morning, Mark. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. So let's jump right into it.
Abs-
NFL football, buddy. So opening weekend was last week. We saw the Eagles with a huge win. We saw the Giants with a tough loss. And there's still that other New York team up there, those New Jersey, New York Jets. So give me the lowdown on what's going on, what happened last week, what's coming up, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, let's first talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. Their first round draft pick, quarterback Carson Wentz, who they drafted second overall, got his first career start. And he did not disappoint the Philadelphia fans as the Eagles rolled on to a 29-10 victory over the Cleveland Browns. Carson Wentz was very impressive. He went 22 of 37 for 228 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the offense seemed to be really clicking, and they looked very, very good on the offensive side. Also, running back Ryan Matthews of the Philadelphia Eagles had a pretty good game. He rushed for 77 yards and also scored a touchdown. On the Cleveland side, Robert Griffin III, who has played the last couple of seasons with the Washington Redskins, now getting a shot with the Cleveland Browns, didn't look that great. He completed just 12 of his 28 passes for 190 yards, no touchdowns and an interception, and he's also now out and he's on the injured reserve and will be out for at least until week 10, so obviously a very frustrating start for him.
Yeah, Neil, let's talk about that real quick. Look, so Cleveland goes out, they grab RG3, right, thinking that he's going to solve their quarterback problems, and what happens? The first game, dude gets hurt again. What are they thinking out there?
Yeah, I know it's definitely frustrating because throughout RG3's career in the NFL, he's been linked with a bunch of injuries. Obviously, because if you look at the way he was handled in Washington, they wanted to make him a running quarterback, and he said early on he didn't want to be compared to a guy like Michael Vick. He wanted to be compared more to guys like Peyton Manning and Eli Manning and Tom Brady. And it's just disappointing to see that he gets hurt in a situation where he's trying to battle back once again from injury, losing his job last year to Kirk Cousins, and pretty much getting released by the Washington Redskins. So hopefully he can come back from this injury and continue to improve and hopefully resurrect his career, which so far since he's been in the NFL has not looked good at all.
Yeah, you know what? It really is it's a situation where I was talking to somebody yesterday. I have a few Cleveland receivers. I've got Barnage at tight end, and I'm thinking to myself, this might actually be a good thing for the fantasy impact because McCown is going to start, and he's a little bit more of a traditional drop-back pocket passer. So maybe my fantasy numbers are going to go up a little bit with some of those guys on the outside.
Well, I think I would probably have to disagree with you on that. I haven't seen a lot from Josh McCown. He's been in the league for a bunch of years now, and he really hasn't done very much. Obviously because he hasn't gotten that much time to start. But even last year when he played a lot for the Browns, I didn't see very much. I still think that RG3 was a good pickup. I think it was just bad luck that he got hurt. And I think if he just continues to develop into more of a pocket passing quarterback, which I know RG3 wants to be, I think that offense could really do well. If you look at the running game with Isaiah Crowell, he didn't play that poorly last week. He was probably one of their better players on there. And also you have Barnage on the tight end spot, who's, in my opinion, one of the top 5 tight ends in the NFL today. And so you just look at that. And then you also have Terrell Pryor as a wide receiver. Corey Coleman, their rookie out of Baylor, who's also there. That offense is going to continue to get better. They develop a better offensive line. That offense could be very dangerous in a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, it's another tough blow for RG3. I mean, I don't know how effective if he's out for 10 weeks this year. I don't know how effective he's going to be if he ever comes back. I mean, it's just such a shame. What a talented guy, and he's just been bitten by that injury bug. So let's shift over real quick and talk about those Gents, the Giants. I know that's your squad, right? Your Giants. Yeah. So let's talk about that game. It was crazy. That Cowboys Giants game was nuts.
That was definitely tugging at everybody's nerves. That was very intense to watch. Giants came away with a 20-19 victory, and for a lot of Giants fans, they can obviously say that compared to last year, they actually closed out a game. They lost 5 games last year when leading after the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter. They won this game. Their defense played pretty well. They made a few mistakes, but that's going to happen here or there. But they look a lot better, and they did a very good job of stopping rookie quarterback Dak Prescott, who played pretty well. He completed half of his passes. Obviously didn't throw a touchdown pass, but he looked like he knew what he was doing. He looked confident, and he looked like he was ready to roll. Eli Manning, not surprisingly, had another really good game. Threw for 207 yards and 3 touchdowns. He did throw one interception that looked like it was going to be the reason they lost the game.
Yeah.
But the Giants' defense didn't give up, and they continued to play. And another interesting thing, the most interesting thing about this game was for the first time in almost 700 days, Victor Cruz is back from his injury that he sustained a few years ago against Philadelphia. And he played very well, actually. He caught 4 passes for 34 yards, and he scored the game-winning touchdown. So all in all, it was a really good first win. It was a big win for the Giants. Congrats to Ben McAdoo for getting his first career victory in the NFL. And the Giants will look to try to continue to get better as they host Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, who just came off a tough 35-34 loss to the Oakland Raiders in the last couple of minutes. That game's going to be at 1 o'clock on Sunday on Fox if you're interested in watching. So that's the Giants for this week.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, that game was so crazy. And that pick that Eli threw, he threw it off his back foot, and the receiver ran the bad route. That, honestly, I thought that was going to be what changed, the game and swung it over to the Cowboys side. Because it was a sloppy game. Look, I am an Eagles fan, so I watch the Giants-Cowboys with a different perspective, right? So I thought what happened is that the Cowboys keyed on Beckham. That opened up Cruz a little bit. Over the middle, it looked like that he was really eating their lunch. So this is kind of a dangerous thing. If Cruz is back, Beckham, we know, is one of the top guys in the league. This Shepard that they picked up, the Giants' receiving core looks like they may be pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. Sterling Shepard, he played very well in the preseason from what I watched. I did watch a lot of the Giants preseason. I really liked him. A lot of experts say that the Giants got the biggest steal in the draft, getting him in the 3rd round, and he looks very good. He caught 3 passes for 43 yards and scored a touchdown, and I was very impressed. And I think if he continues to develop, all of a sudden you have 3 big-time receivers, and then you also have Dwayne Harris at some aspects with regards to, obviously, he's a great punt and kick returner, but he could be a really reliable 4th receiver. So like you said, the Giants receiving core looks like they could be very dangerous, especially if Cruz is back healthy and strong, and if the Giants continue to try to get the ball to Odell Beckham. They did get it to him a few times. He made a big play for I believe it was about 40-plus yards to set up the Giants' first touchdown. And so I feel like this offense is going to get better. And if you look at, the Giants struggled running the ball in the first half, but they look like they finally got it going in the second. So if their passing game could set up their running game, this whole offense could really continue to get better and better.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun year in the NFC East, and I'm looking forward to it because, the Redskins took it on the chin against the Steelers on Monday night. But, if the Eagles are good, the Cowboys are good, the Giants are good, and the Redskins are good, man. Nothing is better. Nothing is more fun than when all the teams in the division are good. So listen, I gotta take a quick break here. Hang through, and we'll come right back, and we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on. You got some time, right?
Yep, I'm here.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to take a quick break here on Morning Coffee, so stick around. We'll be right back on the Radio Vision Network.
Today's show is sponsored by Hargrove Demolition, your demolition experts. Hargrove is a family-owned and operated business right here in the southern New Jersey area, bringing you 45 years of demolition expertise. Hargrove has all your demolition needs, from emergency demolition service to demolition equipment rental. Hargrove is one of the state-approved recycling facilities right here in the southern New Jersey area. No job is too big or too small for Hargrove Demolition. Contact them today at one of their 3 locations.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
When we make Beyond Natural dry dog and cat foods, we start with real meat as the first ingredient. We leave out corn, wheat, and soy. And we own where our dry food is made. 100%. Can other brands say all that? For nutrition you can trust and your pet will enjoy. Does your food go beyond? Learn more at purinabeyond.com.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Welcome back to Morning Coffee. I am Mark Cook. This is the Radio Vision Network, but of course you already knew that. So we are moving right along. We're talking to Neil Villapiano. He's our sports guy. He's the host of the MVP show right here on Radio Vision Network. You can check him out on Saturdays. And go check out his Facebook page, the MVP. And I'm saying N. I'm not saying M. I'm saying MVP because his name is Neil Villapiano. What's up, Neil? Let's keep talking, brother.
What's up, Mark? All right, let's keep it going here. Let's keep it going.
So, Jets, Bills.
Hmm?
Jets, Bills tonight, right? Thursday night football. We're trying to get excited about these Thursday night games again, right?
Absolutely.
So tell me about what's this matchup looking like for the Jets? I know. Listen, I want to make sure that everybody understands here. We have all bases covered. Neil is a New York guy. He's from North Jersey. He likes all the New York teams. I've got Philadelphia covered down here. I'm a 4-for-4 Philly guy. So we're going to make sure that we've got you all covered up here in the Northeast Corridor. So tonight, the Jets play the Bills. This is an AFC East rivalry. And tell me a little bit about what I should be looking for tonight in that Jets-Bills game.
Well, the first thing you should definitely look out for is look for the uniforms. The NFL just announced its Color Rush designs for all 32 NFL teams just yesterday.
Okay.
The Jets will be wearing the same uniforms that they wore last year in their Thursday night game against the Bills when they were playing at MetLife. It's an all-green uniform, kind of like a lime green almost. So look for that. And also the Bills are wearing an all-red uniform. It's almost like you got that Christmas type look to it. So definitely look out for that because that's something that a lot of fans will want to look for.
Oh, I'm sure. No. It's one of those things when you turn on the game, you're going to see all these wacky colors, and it's like, oh yeah, wait a second, what's going on here?
The one thing to look for is we got to see how the Jets respond to a tough loss they had last week in their Week 1 matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals. In my opinion, their defense was very good, especially their defensive line, getting, I believe it was 7 sacks on Andy Dalton, the quarterback of the Bengals. They really played well, but honestly, their offense just wasn't clicking. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, to me, continues to look like that he is not the quarterback for the New York Jets. He really doesn't look like it. He doesn't look as good as people want to make him out to be. And I just need to see more. I need to see this offense continue to get better with Brandon Marshall and now Matt Forte and a few other guys. They really need to get it clicking. Otherwise, this Jets team is going to be 6-10, 7-9, and it's going to be another year where the Jets miss the playoffs.
Yeah, now tell me about that quarterback situation because I'm pretty sure that they shopped around and tried to find another quarterback. They did not want to go into this season with Ryan Fitzpatrick, but really didn't have any other options. What happened there?
Well, I disagree with that. They did have other options. I mean, they got Christian Hackenberg, quarterback out of Penn State, the rookie, and he didn't play until I believe the third or fourth preseason game.
Hackenberg's not going to come in and start, Neil. You know that, though. You take a flyer on a guy like Hackenberg and see if he can turn into a pro. You know he wasn't going to walk in and be the starter year one.
No, but there is another guy that the Jets really need to take a chance on, and I think that's Bryce Petty, their second-year guy out of Baylor. He's continued to look good. I understand he got hurt against the Eagles in the last preseason game. It's obviously a tough blow, but Bryce Petty continues, and I saw him play a lot in college, and I know that he played in a much different offense in college than in the NFL. But he continues to look like he is that quarterback that the Jets have been looking for. A leader, a guy who understands the situation that he's in, and understands what he needs to do in order to win games, and that is by throwing the ball. The Jets really need to stop trying to become a ground and pound team, and they really need to focus more on throwing the ball and developing their passing game, because that's what's going to help them win a bunch of games. So their options, obviously, like you said, are limited, but they're not impossible. It's not like they don't have anybody else besides Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, the problem is that they just gave Fitzpatrick a boatload of money to be the guy. And, Brandon Marshall really likes Ryan Fitzpatrick. We're talking about one of the top receivers in the league who you need to keep him happy. So, honestly, I think it's another year of unrest up there in Jet country.
Absolutely. So,
the other
thing to look forward to in this game is just, Rex Ryan again playing his former team. He's obviously beat them twice. He beat them last year and prevented them from making the playoffs in the last week of the season. He'll look to try to win his third game against his former team, and also hope to avoid an 0-2 start to what a lot of Bills fans hope is a very promising season, and a season that could probably make or break whether Rex Ryan remains the Bills head coach or not.
Yeah, I mean, their offseason was a mess, though, between what happened with Carlos Williams and, McCoy having his issues in Philadelphia earlier in the year. And it seems like the Bills just have really, really bad luck. And it'll be interesting to see how they kind of come out of it. But I want to switch gears on you real quick.
Sure.
And I know that we're about a month away from the NHL season getting going, but I was looking and I saw that there's this World Cup of Hockey, which is like the international tournament that they have that's kind of like the Olympics, but they do it, obviously not in an Olympic year. So let's talk about, I know that tournament is getting ready to kick off, so let's talk about what's going on with that.
Well, World Cup of Hockey just completed their exhibition games, and on Friday night it will be the first of a couple games. The first one you'll probably want to watch is USA versus Europe. Obviously, a lot of fans around here want to see that.
Yeah.
But the main thing about it is that it's kind of like the Olympics, but in a way that the teams are different. You obviously have Team USA and Team Canada and Team Russia, but you also have some other interesting teams. Team Sweden, obviously they're still there, but Team Europe, that's a new team, consists of all guys that are not from Russia or Sweden.
Right.
And you also have Team Finland that's coming. And the most interesting team that you have to look for is Team North America. That's consistent of players in the NHL who are 23 years of age or younger and are from either United States or Canada. That's the team that a lot of people want to watch because they're a young team, they're inexperienced, and they have a few guys who just got drafted that haven't even set foot on an NHL ice, and will get a chance to play a few games against some of the top NHL players in the world. So obviously you're going to want to watch this, and it's on ESPN, which ESPN said they were thrilled to finally be able to broadcast some hockey.
Yeah.
They haven't done it in maybe, I believe, 6 or 7 years. So
right.
all in all, and this is all based in Toronto, Canada. This is where the World Cup is going to be to start off. And it should be very exciting to watch. I know I'm definitely going to be watching it, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people from around the area and around the United States and even around the world that are definitely going to, want to watch this event.
Yeah, it's so funny because I heard the World Cup of Hockey and I was like, I'm not that interested. And then I just heard about that team, that North American team. That sounds like fun, man. That sounds different. That we put all the young kids on one team. That's something to watch because you're watching all of the future stars of the NHL.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, like I said, it's really exciting to see how they play it. And you also have to be excited about watching Team Canada, Team USA, Team Russia, Team Sweden. You have to be excited about all these teams.
I'm running
This whole thing is going to be great.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm running up against the time, but I wanted to mention real quick that some news came out of Philadelphia earlier this week that Claude Giroux actually got hurt in this in one of the exhibition games in the World Cup. But you have an update on him.
Yes, I do have an update. Last night, Team Canada played Team Russia in the final tune-up before the World Cup hockey. He did play. He played a considerable amount of time. I believe he played about 20 minutes on the ice, so he had a lot of ice time.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's perfectly fine. He didn't look like he was bothered by injury. It looks like he'll be ready to go for the World Cup.
Excellent. I want to thank Neil Villapiano for joining me for a few minutes this morning on our sports update. Neil, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime. Glad to be here.
Great. So that was Neil Villapiano. You can check him out every Saturday on the MVP show right here on the Radio Vision Network. I got to take a quick break, but guess what, folks? We'll be right back. So stick around right here on that Radio Vision Network.
Today's show is sponsored by Hardgrove Demolition, your demolition experts. Hardgrove is a family-owned and operated business right here in the southern New Jersey area, bringing you 45 years of demolition expertise. Hardgrove has all your demolition needs, from emergency demolition service to demolition equipment rental. Hardgrove is one of the state-approved recycling facilities right here in the southern New Jersey area. No job is too big or too small for Hardgrove Demolition. Contact them today at one of their 3 locations.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
When we make Beyond Natural dry dog and cat foods, we start with real meat as the first ingredient. We leave out corn, wheat, and soy. And we own where our dry food is made. 100%. Can other brands say all that? For nutrition you can trust and your pet will enjoy. Does your food go beyond? Learn more at purinabeyond.com.
Extra Innings is the nation's premier indoor baseball and softball training center, featuring indoor batting cages, 7 multi-use tunnels, and training rooms. Extra Innings can provide professional instruction, private and group lessons, and the best year-round clinics. Along with a nationally recognized pro shop that features the latest and widest selection of equipment and apparel, our experienced staff can provide you with the right instruction and help you find the best equipment for your ability and budget. Extra Innings, where the game never ends.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Sub some sizzle. This is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.